If you throw AI generalist at me as an opportunity, I go back to the 90s when webmaster was like an awesome position because we needed someone that could spell HTML to get our website, page up. And that didn't last very long because we created tools like WordPress and whatnot to do that. I don't think prompt engineer is a long-term career choice for anybody.
Oh, your ass is out the window, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese podcast.
Oh, yeah. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Hey, kids, it's the Chad and Cheese podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Dirty Sanchez Cheeseman.
And this is Chad Hellscape Sowash.
And this is JT. It's finally fall. O'Donnell.
And on this episode of HR's most dangerous podcast, LinkedIn lawyers up again, Moody's reports down, and GenX wants out. Let's do this.
Take it. Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Vetty Betty. From Vetty, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man. Keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Vetty makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Vetty, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Vetty. Hiring as it should be. Visit vetty.co to learn more.
Fall in New England. How awesome is that?
It is. We had a really warm season, but now it's here.
She has a sweater on.
Look at me.
For the one month of the year that New England can make fun of the rest of the country, and everyone is envious.
I'm not gonna lie, it's awesome. It's pretty. It's awesome. Apple picking, pumpkins. It's good.
Pumpkin. Do you do the whole Halloween thing, or is that passe?
No, it's a big deal here. I live in a cute little city, and it's like the streets are decorated. It's awesome. Like just this time of year makes it worth living here. Except for the construction, which you can hear, which is now like everywhere. But
that's okay. There's a whole lot of shaking going on at the O'Donnell house. So don't come knocking. Don't come knocking. You know the rules, everybody. Don't come knocking. Because
they're already knocking. Yeah. So I got to give love to the Factory Fix boys. I got this obviously when I got home, and they added a little Matt Lavery patch on there, so
that's
everybody
a nice
remembers
touch.
Little Matt Lavery. Yeah.
Oh,
love it.
Love that.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, the guys at Factory Fix, they're from Chicago. Matt Lavery was from Chicago. Definitely kindred spirits. Miss our boy.
Love Chicago. Yeah. He won a bet that he'll never cash in with me. His Cubs got 90 wins.
Yeah.
They're on the doorstep of being eliminated. We don't need to talk about that. And the Bears are a hot mess, but definitely miss our homeboy, Matt Lavery.
Been a hot mess for a very long time.
Mark Sanchez is lucky he didn't pick a fight with Matt Lowry. That might have crazy.
That story. What the heck?
It's reached New England. That's cool. Yeah.
Stabbed.
I got the headline, Mark Sanchez stabbed in downtown Indy. And I was like, oh, great. Like, nice job.
The dangerous
and then facts came out and it was like, holy shit. I mean, props to a 69-year-old that can hold his own and like is carrying a knife and like some Bowie knife comes out and the
guy that Mark Sanchez was starting a fight with was almost 70.
He was 69.
Holy shit.
And that's
if you
not
saw
a joke.
pictures, little guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah, no,
Fucking
he was
bully.
a truck driver used to late night deliveries, so the dude
okay.
was sort of ready for.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's seen a lot of shit at midnight, and So he had pepper spray, which didn't work. It
Didn't phase him.
It didn't phase him much, and then he took out a knife and stabbed him. Like that's crazy, dude. Crazy story, man. It's like Europe getting stabbed, but anyway. I think Mark is fired, and I think that we won't be seeing him on TV anytime soon. He might be doing some.
We're used to mass shootings, not stabbings.
Yeah, he may be the most famous inmate since Mike Tyson did some time here in Indiana back in the 90s.
Oh.
We'll see if Delta lets him on the airlines, Chad. That's something you wanted to have in banter.
Not a good look. Yeah, no. Let's go ahead and move on. This is a long show. This is a smorgasbord of stuff. So I'm literally cutting something out we were going to talk about because fuck it. Let's dig into shout outs because we got a meaty show coming.
Is it time for shout outs?
So much red meat. Well, I'm going to not be red meatish on this one, but my shout out goes out to John Lennon. Assuming all the kids even know who John Lennon is. He was one of the Beatles. Anyway, today we're recording on October 9th. Today would have been his 85th birthday. Chad mentioned Marvin Gaye last week and 1971's classic. Also a classic from 1971. In addition to Chad and I, is Imagine from John Lennon, my favorite song of all time. Not only the song, but also the album is one of his best. I can only imagine, Chad. Yeah, the dad jokes are coming out a little early in this one. I can only imagine what John Lennon might have to say in his political bents on what 2025 has to hold. Remember this, kid, if you don't know John Lennon, all you need is love. Shout out to my favorite Beatle and happy heavenly birthday to John Lennon.
That was sweet.
Love me some Lennon.
Really
love me some Lennon.
I do. I didn't know that was your favorite song.
You like that?
Yeah,
great song.
That's cool.
He was a cat lover. A little known fact about John Lennon: he had a cat. He had many cats. Salt and pepper, and he had minor and major, which are musical terms, if you know major and minor.
Oh my God.
Everybody has their flaws, Cheeseman. That's okay.
Chad is over the cat talk.
So
Chad's over.
I'm going to switch gears up.
Here at the Chad Cheese Podcast, one thing that we love is obviously you watching, but also like and subscribe.
So my shout out, like, you know how many times we say AI in this show, we should be drinking. We'd be like hammered. Okay, I'm going to kick it off because I'm going to give a shout out, no affiliation whatsoever, to Delphi AI because I just completed making an AI tool that literally talks to anyone and gives them whatever free resource they want from me. So when you've been doing the stuff I've been doing for 10 years, your DMs, your messages are always filled with, where's this thing that you did? Do you remember when you did this? You know, like I'm the personal, assistant to that. And I feel so bad. Yeah, it makes you crazy. So I built this AI tool that literally talks to you and says, you want this one, and gives it to them. And I am so excited. I feel like relieved.
Is it you visually? Is it a text-based thing?
It's text and voice. Okay. So you can type and it'll give you text, or if you voice, you have a conversation with me. It's insane. And I like the amount of hours it's going to save me. And I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, maybe because I wanted to make sure it was there. But for the amount of time it took it to program it and how accurate it is, I feel lighter.
Does it sound like you, or is it kind of like a...
It's my voice.
Okay.
Yeah, people have said, they freak out. They're like, it is like I'm talking to you, JT. I'm like, good. Awesome. Because I can't work with 10,000 people one-on-one.
Body snatchers kind of thing, or it's you, but not quite you.
Exactly.
It's you?
I mean, I'll take it though, because those people that say, can I just pick your brain? You can pick this brain. Let's go talk to this thing.
Never happens to us. So never happens to us.
I'm very excited about it. So thank you, Delphi AI, saving my life. Give me some hours back.
Now, with AI, it's interesting because Joel and I actually had our voices cloned with AI through Veritone a few years ago, right? It took us 3 hours of training data to actually get it locked in. I actually had to do an additional 3. Joel didn't because he's got this monotone approach.
Yeah, my monotone voice is easy.
So now it is incredible that literally they can get a 30-second clip, probably even less than that now, but 30-second clip, and they are like spot on almost. So if they would be able to train on all of the data, not just the text data, but also the voice data that you have out there, we have out there, it's scary how close this shit's getting.
It is.
I mentioned how excited I am to when we get to a point where we don't even have to work anymore. We just load the news into the machine and we come out and that's it.
That'll be you printing money, Joel. Printing money.
Always about the money with JT, I tell you.
Yes. Well, I would like to give my shout out to and get the tape ready there, Cheeseman, to Supreme Leader President Trump for cleaning up the hellscape that is Portland, Oregon. And we have footage of said hellscape. Go ahead and play that footage.
Let me roll the tape, Chad. Let me load the tape in for you. Hold on. Here we go.
All right. So
what the hell does that mean?
For those of you just listening on audio, on the tape, there was an assortment of people wearing inflatable animal costumes, dancing in the Portland streets in protest. No, they weren't armed. No, they weren't throwing rocks. No, they weren't doing anything fucking crazy other than literally just being people and showing how fucking ridiculous this is. Now, my son used to live in Portland. He was there for a few years. And I wasn't really into the vibe because I don't like the whole, wannabe hippie vibe. If I want a real hippie, I'm going to go to fucking Seattle, or the West Coast or the West.
Don't message me, Portland. Really. Don't message me.
I love Portland. Don't get me wrong. But it just wasn't my vibe. And I get the whole, issue with, calling homeless unhoused and not focusing on like issues and stuff like that. But there's no reason to call this place fucking hellscape. I mean, these are great people. Yes, they have issues, but we do all over the world, every city in the United States. So get the fuck out of our cities, people. Shout out to the stupidity. Let's stop it.
If you're in a red city, Chad, there's no problem. That's not about the hippies. It's about how they vote.
We got fucking Mark Sanchez getting stabbed. And you don't have to worry about
self-defense. Yeah, we are walking the streets with guns and knives, people. But hey, it's self-defense. Yes. Jesus, let's get to free stuff.
I like free stuff.
My gosh, I always feel like the pressure is on in this moment, people. So let's just start with free stuff. I'm serious. We're going to begin with Van Hack. We love you for your whiskey. So all my whiskey boozers, you could win some serious Van Hack.
Take off, will you? We're doing a movie.
Baby.
Don't
Chicken
wreck our
cock.
show, you hoser.
Seriously, I can vouch. The t-shirts from Aaron App are insane. Like you can sleep in them. They're really, really comfy and cozy. That's not normal with like free t-shirts. You know what I mean?
I concur.
Craft beer, like Aspen Tech. Love you all. The craft beer is always a crowd favorite. Aspen Tech Labs. And then you're going to get all this stuff before I say chadcheese.com/free is where you get all this stuff, but I cannot miss out on the rum from Plum.
It's chadcheese.com/free. That's where you get your whiskey, 2 bottles, chicken cock, 1 person. Everybody's going to be getting t-shirts. I mean, come on, let's face it. And craft beer on your doorstep, baby. We got Van Hack, Aaron, and Aspen Tech Labs. I'm waiting for Aspen Tech Labs to come out with some fucking BLS data. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, take it over.
Events. Where are we going, boys?
Hey, Steven, chill the fuck out. So I'm picking Stephen McGrath up tomorrow at the airport, and we're heading to the Cheeseman residence for a sleepover. That's right. Get ready.
There's so much that's going to go wrong.
Social media is going to explode. Social media is going to explode.
So much going to go wrong there.
Yeah. So that first night, we're going to, set the tone for the week and the rest of the week. And who the fuck knows?
And they're having chili, people. They're having chili.
Then
Joel made chili.
Chili's on the menu, baby.
Bad for
chili with lots of cheese. You know what I'm saying? Chili with lots of cheese.
Then Monday, we're driving down to Louisville, meeting up with our friends from Havas People. And what are we doing in Louisville, Joel? This is your baby. Talk about it.
All right.
Well, Chad, we'll be starting off with a luxurious lunch at the Brown Hotel in downtown Louisville, where we will feast on what's called a hot brown. If you don't know what that is, kids, just Google it. Then we will walk down to the Evan Williams Distillery, where we will get a private tour of the distillery, how they make that brown goodness. And then we will be doing tastings of the fine bourbon that they make at Evan Williams. From there, we have a little bit of time to do our own thing. Might go to Mitchter's, might go to bar, maybe a shot of ProAPIs for everybody. Who knows? And then around 5:00, we have to be down at Chicken Cock. That's right, the unofficial official bourbon of the Chad and Cheese podcast. That is Chicken Cock, everybody.
I love Chicken Cock.
We will be at their circa 1856 lounge, which the public doesn't even really know about yet. So if you're there, you're going to be able to enjoy that fine location with some bourbon of your choice. A myriad of selections will be on the menu. Then we will have some discussion. We'll talk a little shop. Might have some surprise guests. Who knows?
Nice.
Who knows? From then, we will probably stumble to the nearest taco joint or burrito place, and then I think you're heading on to Nashville, and I'm going to go pass out at my sister's across the river.
Thank God Julie is going to be there because she's going to be the designated driver taking Steven and I down to Nashville. It's only about 2 hours and change away. So. And then it's time for Wreckfest, baby. That's right. On Wednesday, day one, we are emceeing the Disrupt stage all damn day. And here's some of the interviews we are showcasing starting early at 9:45. 5 must-have AI agents. At 12:45, fraud detection, screening, sourcing at scale. At 1:30, breaking the job board cycle. And at 4:30, join our good friend, Alex Forless, for plug in or fall behind. So big love to our showcase sponsors, Jovio, Covey, Dahlia, and Veritone. Then we go to Redneck Riviera for the after party. Day one after party from 8 to 11, courtesy again of Havas people. They're going to be everywhere. Job Pixel. Did I say Job Pixel? Havas people are they're starting to plant some seeds in the U.S. and partying with the Chad and Cheese is not a bad way to start. Then, last but not least, kids, on day 2, I'll be on stage with Jeff Taylor.
There's 2 days of this?
I know.
I'm
going
to
be
on
stage talking about talent disruption through the ages. And then Ethan Bloomfield, friend of ours, who's running an AI clinic at Wreckfest, took less than 30 minutes to put this little hype video together. Tate,
I hope it took him less than 30 minutes. Oh, Ron.
That's not it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event.
Yo, tonight's main event, we got Chad Sowash taking on Jeff Taylor. Let's get it on.
Watch the bourbon glass. Watch the bourbon glass. It's there, and it's gone. Good one, guys. Good one. Apparently, AI puts on 20 pounds of muscle, so I appreciate that.
Put 20 pounds somewhere else on me, but we don't need to talk about that now, do we? We don't need to talk about that.
I don't even know where to go with that.
I think we go to fantasy football.
No, you don't. Not yet.
Sorry. We got more travels than that.
No, only because I can't be lonely. So, folks, if you're going to Talent Connect, which is the week after Wreckfest, if you are going to be there, please hit me up. Hit me up in the messages on LinkedIn. I'm going there solo. I hate going to events solo. I'll be there the 20th through the 23rd.
How can I learn more? Give me the deets.
San Diego, the Marriott Marquis. 2,800 talent executives from around the world coming in, listening to some of the hot topics. I just hate going to these things alone. So, message me. Let's have coffee. Let's have cocktails. Let's if you want the real dirt about Chad and Cheese, I'll go unfiltered. Off the record and unfiltered if you message me.
All you have to do is listen every week. I think you're going to get it.
There's a few things I can share.
Don't tease me with a good time.
Thank you.
I'll be in San Diego as well. November 4th and 5th. I'll be at the ERE show.
Nice.
I too will be on stage slapping around Jeff Taylor for all to see. He had tattoos in that AI rendition of him. We're going to find out if he really has some tattoos and where they might be. Where they might be, folks. Who knows where? Who knows where that'll go? Might also be on a boat at some point. Who knows? San Diego gets kind of crazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It does.
They let you play fantasy football in San Diego as well, but not like fantasy football with Chad and Cheese, sponsored by our friends at Factory Fix. Chad's already talked about them. Here is your leaderboard for week 4 in the books, heading into week 5 of fantasy football. Number 1, again, Mackenzie Mad Dog Maitland is just killing it. Followed by Courtney Napo, David Stiefel, last year's winner. He's headed for number 1 with a bullet. Followed by me, who took a black eye from Mr. Stephen McGrath, international black eye to boot. William Carrington follows me. Stephen McGrath moves up to number 6. He felt so empowered by that he left us a little video, Chad. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but let's check out what Stephen had to say.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Stephen McGrath. The real reason that anybody listens to the Chad and Cheese podcast, because what is life without a little, I love chicken cock. I do. I love it. Anyway, this is just a formal announcement to let you know that I'm taking over American sports. It got off to a little bit of a shaky start, but I am officially blowing Joel Cheeseman out the water in week 5. It's not actually over yet. I'm so confident that I'm going to win that I'm recording this video on Sunday when there's still games to be played tomorrow. So it's just letting you all know that there's a new sheriff in town. Buckle up, baby. Yeehaw!
That's a new clip right there. Buckle up, baby. Yeah.
I don't want to reveal this because I don't usually kiss and tell, but Stephen told me in confidence that he's now an American football fan and that English football is shit or shite, I think is what he called it. So for whatever that's worth.
He said that, but go ahead.
By the way, if you remember Adam Gordon last season, I think was in the top 3 at least after like 3 or 4 weeks and made a comment like, "This is so easy." Where did Adam end up? So don't get too cocky. Fantasy football has a way of smacking you around and humbling you for sure. So anyway, Stephen McGrath, followed by Jason Putnam, Megan Radigan, Jada Weiler, Chad Sowash in double digits at number 10, followed by Ginger Dodds, and good God, Jeremy Roberts. How do you live in Texas and come up short like this in fantasy football? I don't know how he lives with himself. But anyway, kids, that is Fantasy Football with Chad and Cheese, sponsored by our friends at Factory Fix. Shall we get to some topics, everybody?
Yes.
Meat.
Topics!
Even again.
What? All right, guys. What do you want first? The good news or the bad news? Okay, we'll do the bad news first. The government shutdown marches on. Reports from ADP and Moody's suggest essentially no job growth in September, with the few jobs added concentrated in healthcare and at large employers. American farmers are on the brink of bankruptcy. Officials at the Bank of England highlighted the growing risk of that tech stocks prices pumped up by the AI boom could burst soon. U.S. recession odds rose to 40% for the economy by year end, says J.P. Morgan. But hey, Chad, your gold bars are crushing it. What stood out most in this no good, totally awful week in the economy?
Oh, so much. I'm going to take a little time on the Moody stuff real quick. This is also an underestimate, as tens of thousands of government workers are prepping for the prospect of layoff with the shutdown. And were we in day 8 or some shit like that? Moody's Analytics chief economist, Mark Zandi, wrote on Twitter, "This data shows the job market is weak and getting weaker." Why? Oh, I don't know. Tariffs setting higher prices. That's strike one. Pissing off Europe because of Ukraine. And now Europe isn't buying hundreds of billions of dollars of defense from us anymore. That's strike 2. ICE raids pushing talent out of the market. Strike 3. Laying off hundreds of thousands of government workers. Strike 4. $100K per year for an H-1B visa. What are they going to do? They're going to take that onshore. Guess what? Instead of bringing it onshore and getting geniuses onshore, guess what? We're pushing them away. I'm going to stop at strike 5. I mean, I haven't even mentioned inflation, but we have to understand that markets do not thrive in chaos. And this environment that we're living in today, it isn't chaotic. It's cataclysmic. That's the biggest problem. The rest of it I'll get into later, but your thoughts on what
you can tell that Chad's been in Europe for too long when he's saying strike 5. It's only 3, Chad. You only get 3.
I know.
I was trying baseball.
to demonstrate that there were so many fucking strikes happening, and I stopped at 5.
The Chad was great.
Yeah. I mean, the silent rage for me is always going to be the jobs report because it's still wrong. Like it's so much worse than they're even predicting. It's so much worse. We're just not accounting. We need somebody to get this data right so people can understand. It's not weak. It's not maybe we're in it. We're deep. We're deep into people that used to make 6 figures and have an average income, have not had jobs 7 months, 9 months, and are hanging on to 3% mortgages and using everything else they can to do that. And are probably going to lose those too. And it, sitting there every day and just seeing it infuriates me. Like I can't believe. And it's not going to get better sooner. Companies are sitting here on the restructuring side of things still. I mean, we're coming into layoff season. Who are we kidding? It's Q4, And so to me, like that, it's rough to watch that and that we're not doing something more proactive about it. But
it's not even that the numbers are not there. If they are there, are they correct? Because we've politicized those numbers. And I don't know how as a business you make decisions on numbers that you can't even trust. It's bad. It's bad for sure.
Emotional damage.
So my grandfather was not allowed in the military during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
He was not allowed in the military because he was a farmer.
Oh, okay.
And the United States made a decision that it's pretty important to be able to feed the troops as well as the people back in country when you're in a war type situation. I have an uncle who served in Vietnam, went to Purdue, went to work at Purina after the military and became a farmer because of the lifestyle. He was a farmer growing up. He wanted to pass that lifestyle down to his kids, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
The farmers and what's going on is not only mind-blowing and boggling, but it's incredibly harmful to the country. Look, you don't want to live in a country where everything is a factory farm. Just trust me on that. And I feel like Trump in particular, who goes between New York and Mar-a-Lago, has no sense of sort of what the Midwest and what the people here are dealing with. I just have no concept because I was going to sort of encapsulate this, but there was a TikTok that I think we both reshared, Chad, and I'm going to play it because this guy says what I want to say so much better than I could. Take a listen.
Okay. Oh, I might lose some followers for this, but I don't really give a fuck. Trump thinks farmers are fucking stupid. And before you lose your shit, let me explain. In retaliation to a trade war that they fucking started, China and other countries are no longer buying crops from American farmers. So what does Trump do? He comes out and says that he's going to use tariff revenue to bail them out. But who pays for that tariff? Oh, that's right, the American taxpayer, because the companies they buy their products from have now passed that cost of that tariff on to them. The problem isn't that we're bailing out farmers. I believe we need to bail them out. We need to support small farmers so they don't have to sell their land to big-ass corporations who will then in turn just own more of our land and more of our food chain supply. The problem is that the American consumer, who are also farmers, by the way, cover the cost of that tariff at the checkout aisle and at the parts store. And now the federal government is going to use that money to pay the farmer for the money they lost as a result of a trade war that they fucking started. They are using American consumers and American farmers to solve a problem that they fucking created. And then they're going to stamp their name on it and say, see, we're for the farmer. No, the fuck you ain't. You're just too stupid, or even worse, you think they're too stupid to know that you're the one who created this fucking problem in the first place. Meanwhile,
I'm gonna come.
Meanwhile, real quick, they're also giving $20 billion to Argentina, whose competition.
Don't steal my thunder, so Wash.
Oh, sorry. My bad. He missed it, so I wanted to go ahead and hit it.
Yes. So we're giving money to our number 2 competitor in soybeans, Argentina, who just did a deal with China as well.
Yes.
And it's not just soybeans. Yeah. Australia, China's moving all their meat purchasing over to Australia. Yep. This is really awful. And he touched on it, but tariffs being a regressive tax means that it's the poorest among us who are most hurt by these tariffs. So poor people who need food are now paying more for food, and their taxes are going to pay Argentina, who's selling their soybean. I mean, it's like so ass backwards that it's just very frustrating for me. So the farmers was what I wanted to have a second to talk about. It looks like you have some thoughts,
Agreed.
Chad, but I think we do not want to live in a world where our farmers are gone or everything's sold to big pharma.
When people can't afford a Big Mac, we've seen that Big Mac, McDonald's is having problems, right? Because people can't afford to buy fast food now. Mm-hmm. This goes to exactly what JT was saying. We are much further down this fucking rabbit hole than everybody is letting on. We are much further down. And that is why we have so much division when we are pushing all the money into greedy CEO shares and salaries and bonuses and shareholders and stock buybacks. And that's not going to the people who actually buy your fucking product. I don't understand how this doesn't implode. It feels like it is.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And it goes back to what I said. The richest 10% of us is doing 50% of the consuming. And the next the next leg to go is the stock market. God help us if AI, if NVIDIA falls, if something bad happens and the stock market falls and the rich people don't feel like they're rich anymore and they don't spend anymore, then the shit really hits the fan. I think
they
that's
still can't spend at that rate. It's unsustainable. They cannot spend at that rate because you have few people spending a shit ton of cash. That's not sustainable. You have to have the mass population spending little bits of money, which actually equal that big part, that big bubble of cash, right? That's not going to happen. So even what you're talking about, Cheeseman, is not sustainable.
It's sustainable if things keep going the way that they are. Historically, that never happens. So unless it's different this time, no, something is going to break, and I fear that when the dam breaks, it's going to be really bad for everybody. Jamie Dimon warned this week of a stock market correction. Jamie Dimon, no matter how you feel about him, pretty smart guy that kind of knows what's going on in the economy. So when the rich stop propping up that economy, the pain is coming. The pain is coming in a big way.
Agreed.
I fear. Time for a break. Let's catch our breath, kids. And when we come back, we'll talk about some good news if we can pull some silver lining out of this asshole.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, I already mentioned Chad's gold bullion stash hitting all-time highs, but that's not the only good news. Upwork CEO Hayden Brown says, quote, "There will be plenty of work for humans," end quote, as her firm sees growing demand for AI talent with searches for skills like prompt engineering up over 50%. Brown highlights the rise of adaptable AI generalists and notes high Gen Z will benefit most of all from AI. Also, a Yale University study found that ChatGPT has not significantly disrupted the U.S. labor market since its launch in 2022. Workday is upgrading its commercial real estate footprint by 3x, and Netflix, God, is paying $700,000 a year for an AI product manager. JT, put your rose-colored glasses on and give us that silver lining.
No, I need to go because I got to get my application into Netflix. So just hang on while I go apply for that job. Okay, I do like Upwork because I am seeing that same synergy, which gets me excited. So the people at the more executive or higher level, professional level inside Work It Daily are moving towards fractional. And the reason for that is that we're coaching everybody. There isn't headcount, but there is budget. And those of us that come from the staffing industry know, and Chad, I know you were raised on this too. We always started to see the uptick in staffing requests because companies are like, look, I don't have headcount, but I've got budget. I can hire those temporary workers, right? So I remember that coming out of 2009 and we would see that trend. We are already seeing it with C-suite going, hey, there's a lot of work slop that's come out of AI, but we don't have headcount. So let's go hire some higher level people to come in fractional. I got budget. I got a fund here, fix this, figure out, what works, create this. So we are seeing an uptick there. That gets me excited. And that helps a higher level professional, somebody who's more seasoned, 15, 20 years. Those folks are starting to see those opportunities. The one thing I will say is this to everybody that's listening, they are not on job boards. So it's exciting what they were saying at Upwork, that they're seeing traction there, because most of the companies I'm talking to are saying, I'm not going to put that kind of role on a job board. I'm going to have somebody back channel their way to me who presents the concept, or, it's definitely going to be one of those types of networking and connecting things. So if you are out there looking for work right now, fractional is the way to go. Back channeling to the companies where you could provide those services through a tool like LinkedIn is by far ideal, and it's working. And, I've seen people who have been out of work at the executive level, literally 9 months to a year, who are now redeployed in a fractional role, making some decent cash.
Okay, that's sexy. That's Chad, you feeling better now?
No.
Yeah.
So of course the economy is great for Upwork because you've got all these people that are laid off who are used to full-time gigs, and they're looking for anything, and they're finding themselves on these platforms, which is great. But then let's jump down to the CNN article. We're talking about how AI is not taking over jobs. Well, Skynet didn't take the world overnight. Okay. So we're training AI on specific tasks. For example, interview scheduling, where General Motors, and go take a look at this interview with Eileen Kowalski when she was with GM, they were able to use technology for scheduling instead of people. Over 100 jobs were used just for scheduling. Okay. Shitty jobs, but they were jobs. Those individuals were quote unquote redistributed out to the business, right? But those are over 100 jobs that are gone, right? That technology did take. Now you have to understand that it's only the beginning, as models are being trained every single day on new tasks. So to say AI hasn't taken any jobs is bullshit. Plus, any white collar job that deals in several routine tasks, it's going to be automated, and it may already have been. So at the end of the day, yes, Upwork's going to get some of this work, but as these models start to train through and they get better, we just talked earlier about how it took us 3 fucking hours, Cheeseman, to get our voice modeled by AI a few years ago, right? It takes like 30 seconds now, right? If we extrapolate that, okay, we have to understand that everybody who's saying AI is not going to take jobs, they're full of shit, or they're just dumb, okay? They're full of shit because they don't want to scare people. And I totally get that. You don't want to scare people into buying your product and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it is going to. The big question is, there's going to be a transition from these new jobs that people are talking about and the jobs that we have currently. That usually takes a couple of decades. We're not going to have a couple of decades. If we do, we're going to have much more than a recession. It's going to be a deep depression.
Get off my line, you no good punk kids.
So I needed a bridge there for angry, grumpy old men, because I'm going to be grumpy on this one too. I will say that the U.S. economy is ridiculously resilient. The fact that it hasn't just fallen by now is a miracle to me, and I guess a hat tip to capitalism. Yay, good job. So
creator economy.
Long term though, we're counting on lower Fed rates, which will hopefully spur investment. Will spur cheaper money. The problem with cheaper money is inflation. And we just talked about farm prices and everything else becoming more expensive. Tariffs are making everything expensive. So like we are royally screwing the bottom 50% of this country. And if the stock market goes with it, the rest of America is going to be in a world of hurt as well. All the Upwork stuff, if you throw AI generalist at me as an opportunity, I go back to the 90s when webmaster was like an awesome position, because we needed someone that could spell HTML to get our website, page up. And that didn't last very long because we created tools like WordPress and whatnot to do that. I don't think prompt engineer is a long-term career choice for anybody. No. So these things on Upwork are stopgaps. And if you step back and look at the bigger picture, those jobs are going to be gone. Like those prompt engineer, those are old people that know they need AI, and they're going to hire somebody to figure out what's this prompt thing until the AI figures it out, and they can just buy something to do that for them. I also have a hard time thinking that those jobs in AI are going to thrive within an environment of AI. To me, it's just training AI to eventually take those jobs, which leads me to the Netflix position. This guy's making $700K, guy or gal is making $700K. Great. You know what the job is? Basically training the company to be more efficient with AI. It's essentially a hatchet person to like get rid of jobs. How do we cut corners? How do we get more efficient? And eventually, you know whose job is going to go away? The $700,000 a year guy who created all the efficiencies around AI. So none of this stuff rings long-term prosperity to me. So as much as we want to bring some good news to the people, well, God damn it. This is grumpy old man and JT who does bring some sunshine.
No. It's two grumpy old men and an optimistic gal, because I told you last time I was on the show, the second renaissance is here. And this is going to force so many people to go look outside of themselves, get creative, and stop looking for traditional one job, one paycheck, golden handcuff types opportunity, right? We didn't have this type of work until the 1850s. It's coming full circle, whether you like it or not. And we already have Gen Z who's doing it already. They are not looking for those full-time traditional jobs. They're already doing the freelance model, which means they're more comfortable with it. I get that they're living off of mom and dad's insurances and cell phone bills and other things, but they're also building up a tolerance level to that kind of.
That's pretty important.
It is, but if you're downplaying something that's important. Oh, wait, fair. But if you've got 7 years to figure it out, Joel, you might get there.
I want my life, okay? I don't want my kid in my fucking basement. Number one, okay? I want independent kids. And what we're doing is we're training our kids not to be fucking independent. They're having to keep their cell phone, their insurance, all of the insurances, everything, buying cars, all that other bullshit. I get what you're saying, and it is wonderful, but stop blowing sunshine up my ass when we all know this economy is really getting fucked right now. And healthcare, at the end of the day, because of if we had universal healthcare, I'd be a little bit more bright about this, but we don't. And how many Americans per year go into bankruptcy because of medical? Hundreds of thousands.
I hear you, but somebody's got to be here saying there are opportunities. You're making it sound like there's no future and everyone's dead.
I'll be objective here for a second.
There are opportunities, but I'm saying they're not in my fucking basement.
What percentage of Americans can make a living off being an influencer?
But you're just calling it an influencer, right? Like you're really overgeneralizing when you talk about this economy. Off of what they know. It's monetizing your knowledge. So whether it's fractional work, right? Or you're creating your own thing, like you're being too general and saying not everyone wants to shake a booty on TikTok. That's not what I'm talking about, right? That's the first thing that came along. But there are so many people making money off of what they know, whether it's creating AI apps, automation, fractional work. We're just there. It's there. I get that it's not there for everyone. And as we've talked about, yes, the doom and gloom is a large amount of people do not even understand how to make that shift. And that is what is going to suck, right? Because there's not going to be enough jobs for those people. They're going to suffer. I'm with you. I'm not like underplaying that at all. But to think that there isn't an opportunity here as well. And if we don't start telling people that and showing them the way, then they are going to continue down that path. So we have to do more around that. And that's, who does that? I mean, it's going to end up being us, right? It's not going to be government. It's not going to be corporations. And that sucks. I agree. But there are possibilities and, we will see those. And I want people to know about those.
It has to be more than fractional because we do have, as Jim Farley said, they need 6,000 mechanics. We need plumbers. We need all of these individuals to get back into the trade. So this can't just be a one trick fractional pony here. We have to focus on getting the companies who used to be responsible for investing in their communities and in their workforce who don't do it anymore. They need to start fucking doing that shit again. We wouldn't be in this huge ass mess where literally employees are disposable if we focused on development. Not to mention we've got countries like fucking China who are actually outdoing us in technology, in cars. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Who thought we would be in this fucking position?
But Chad, Ford's going to spend $5 million to solve the problem.
Oh, God.
We're good.
Here's
We're
a
good,
nickel,
man.
Here's
We're
a
good.
nickel, young man. Yes. Jesus Christ.
Oh, JT, remember when you said you liked debate? You got
I
it.
love debate with the show.
It,
And I love that you guys finally
got
took the
it.
kid gloves off, right? I can hold my own.
You can.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
What would a show be without a little LinkedIn? Lawfare alert to everybody. LinkedIn is suing ProAPIs, alleging the company uses millions of fake accounts to scrape data from LinkedIn profiles and sell it to third parties. With the rise of artificial intelligence, companies which can scrape LinkedIn at scale are proliferating and are increasingly becoming a pain in their ass. What's more, a new LinkedIn killer, stop me if you've heard this one before, has raised $10.7 million to launch Filament, an invite-only professional platform hoping to make business networking more private and exclusive. Chad, your thoughts on all things LinkedIn this week?
Yeah, I think for companies who aren't looking into their internal databases on individuals that they've already paid for, and they are heavily, focused and leaning on an Indeed or a LinkedIn, you're the problem. You are the problem. You've spent millions of dollars building databases with qualified candidates that many of them have already been through a lot of the screening and hoops and bullshit that you've already sent them through. That's where you should be at first, right? From a LinkedIn standpoint, yeah, you need to squash these fucking bugs and they're going to come up left and right. The problem is this is not going to stop. Every company that we talk to that's looking at external instead of the internal databases, they all say that they have hundreds of millions of candidates. Where do you think they got them from? They got them from scraping the Indeed databases, the LinkedIn databases, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The shit's already out there, kids. Okay. On the Filament side of the house, this is a quote from their CEO. The future of professional platforms is not feeds, it's group chats. The invite only model preserves trust, end quote. So you're already losing the battle with WhatsApp and Slack. I can't tell you how many fucking WhatsApp groups I'm already in. Okay. I don't need another fucking app to have groups. They're already there. So this to me is a non-starter. But again, at the end of the day, employers need to focus on what they've already spent a shit ton of cash on and not worry about what's in LinkedIn right now. Anyway. Good point.
Yeah. I'm glad they're going after him. From the bot standpoint. I mean, they claim to have 1.1 billion users on the platform. That seriously messes with that, right? And like, how many fake profiles are we talking about here? It infects the effectiveness of LinkedIn's hiring assistant. People pay good money for that. So I understand, and I back them 100%. Go after them because it helps everybody, job seeker, everyone to have real on there and to get rid of that. It's Filament. Is that what they're called? The Filament.
Filament. Yes.
You literally stole my words, Chad. Like nobody
Just
wants
rolls
to spend
off the tongue, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Have you joined Filament yet?
I'm sorry. Nobody wants to spend more time in group chats. No. Nobody. If I'm going to spend time in group chat, it's with my 19 friends and my party people chat that goes on my phone. Like it just, I don't know where that came from. And I think it's like an idea in theory, but I don't see it being super successful on that sense. So yeah, I hope LinkedIn cleans it up and gets rid of the bots.
You know how many group chats I've muted? Yeah. Because I'm already in so many fucking group chats.
That's why you're not answering my messages. That's why you're not answering.
My bad.
By the way, I have my crystal ball out. I want to see how the court case goes against ProAPI.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So we've been covering lawsuits with LinkedIn pretty much since we started this podcast. They never end well for the firm that LinkedIn goes after. Mm-hmm. I don't know why companies still make businesses like this. I mean, eventually you're going to get pinched. You're going to get destroyed because you can't outspend LinkedIn and Microsoft's lawyers. They live for this shit. So the AI component is interesting to me because before AI became what AI is today, it was probably very intensive to scrape LinkedIn, probably to hide yourself, to get them off the scent was probably much harder. This is a real war of attrition that LinkedIn is going to have to deal with. I mean, these guys were creating millions of profiles. They were creating premium accounts, which typically sort of gives you a little bit more leverage with being on the site a lot, with fake credit cards. So they were gaming the system with like fake profiles with fake credit cards, had a 30-day free trial or whatever it is to totally rape the system. And then here we are today. So these scams and are going to only get worse with AI. What happens when there's a bunch of AI profiles and for like 60, 90 days, these fake profiles are on LinkedIn. They're creating content. They're commenting. They look like human beings. And then bam, oh shit, they just stole 80 million profiles and we didn't even notice it. So this is going to be a big problem for LinkedIn. And to Chad's point, as long as you suckers are willing to write checks to these companies, they're going to keep doing this shit. I mean, these guys are getting tens of thousands of dollars a month, many requests per second. Like I can't imagine it's worth it to get that kind of money, knowing that you're going to get shut down at some point. The site is still up. So if you want to use this service, have at it. Good luck. On the filament thing, these names are always so great. I think for me, this is a great opportunity for a history lesson.
For a history lesson.
I thought we were going to get away with one.
No,
one episode without a history lesson. We're there.
Grumpy old men, crazy pills, and this one. So, do you guys remember signing up for Gmail when it first came out?
Oh yeah.
You remember you needed an invite. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
So you were like on the prowl for who has invites. And I think you only got 6 when it first came out. And I remember when someone had it and was willing to give it to me, I was so excited to be a Gmail member and to send that first Gmail out to somebody and be like, I got a Gmail account. They were selling it on eBay for big money. So the invite thing, the exclusiveness, hey, how do I get that? Is powerful historically. And I'll go more meta on you guys. There was a site called NotchUp back in the day that doesn't exist anymore. But this thing was a brush fire of like buzz when it first came out. And the idea was essentially that you would, it was an invite only, and then you would get invited and then you had to get certain people to join and then you could be a member and then you would get paid for interviews. So it became like a viral thing. And then when you joined company, like it was mostly for tech people, right? Tech people who you couldn't find, like, hey, we'll give you $1,000 if you interview with us or $500. So it was a huge deal. So this sort of like exclusivity, invite only, does work historically. You know what doesn't work historically though? LinkedIn competition. Google Plus has been there. LinkedIn or Twitter. Remember, Elon was going to kill LinkedIn. That hasn't really come to fruition. Yeah. Like so many of these things want to kill LinkedIn. At this point, it ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening. This thing needs to pivot to something else because going after LinkedIn and thinking that you're going to take that mantle is just silly because you know what? They ain't leaving. they ain't leaving. But we're leaving for a little bit to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about GenX, which is something the three of us know a little bit about.
Yes, we do.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right, guys, reality bites. We've talked about how screwed Gen Z is in the world of work. Goodbye entry-level jobs. But Gen X now faces a higher risk of financial hardship from job loss and debt burdens compared to their baby boomer brethren. Quick fact, only 1 in 4 Gen Xers have a retirement account at all. Fuck. A new book entitled Retirement Bites. Pretty clever, huh? Retirement Bites.
Very nice. Very nice.
Argues a universal basic income program could be necessary to provide a safety net for Xers, especially as AI advancements march on and threaten white-collar jobs. JT, you're an Xer. Tell us your thoughts on UBI.
Yeah, I mean, I can vouch that that's a group that's sitting on unemployment right now. And doesn't have the savings like you're talking about. And if they are, they're draining them in other ways. It's interesting to me. So when I first heard about universal basic income, I thought we'll never get it until Social Security's gone. Right? Once that plays out and it's not there anymore, then they might move to that model. But then when you think about what would happen if we started giving Gen X that money to put back into the economy and everything that we've been talking about on the show here today, you start to think about the fact that that could actually help keep things going, especially if it gave them the opportunity to transition, and find the second act career, whatever it is that they want to do. I think, most of the Gen Xers I know, they don't envision a world where they retire. They need to do something. It's not going to be what they've been doing, but they sure as heck aren't going to sit around because they just feel like they're going to drop dead of a heart attack if they're not doing something, right? And I would agree. And so if there was a way to do that and afford them the ability to go pursue passions or do things that they wanted to do and not be so hung up on it had to make a certain amount of money, then there's a real opportunity there, right? I can see it for the first time. I just don't think we're going to see anybody move on that until Social Security is gone, and so it could be a cool idea, but will it happen?
The transition.
There might be a wee problem, boys.
The transition that we talked about, moving from different positions to new positions. I mean, there's going to be that gap. Who knows how long it's going to take? It's not just Social Security; it's also unemployment, right? The entire system could fold underneath the pressure, and it's not just Gen Xers, right? It's everybody. I think the biggest problem with Gen Xers at this point is that we've been waiting for these fucking baby boomers to get their asses out of the fucking workforce so that we can actually progress, right? And to get into those positions. It's taken longer. They're literally having to die out. They're not retiring in many cases. They're dying out of positions. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to UBI, we've been talking about UBI for years on the show. How do we get a population that can actually afford Big Macs again? They have to have money in their pockets, right? So when we're looking at like stimulus checks during COVID, that actually boosted the economy. Did we give too much? Did we not give enough? Who the fuck knows? All I do know is that we actually had Americans with money in their bank account, which we don't today. And if we don't, then guess what? Even the Big Mac, which doesn't cost a lot, is going to be in trouble. And it's in trouble right now. So we've got to figure out something.
Like, you know what a Big Mac costs, so why? You haven't had a Big Mac since
When's the last one you had one?
1994.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
Speaking of Gen X,
1989.
guys, I don't know, man. I don't know how the latchkey generation, the kids that grew up on water, like hose water, was kicked out of the house in the morning and like come back when the lights are on. The thought of us being the poster children for the beginning of UBI just makes me want to puke, because we have lived our whole lives independently, fuck authority,
rebels,
snarky.
I mean, and part of that's because that we had no other choice generationally, and our parents,
boomers as fucking parents,
we're stuck in the middle, and like everything else, we're screwed. When we grew up, drugs were going to kill us, sex was going to kill us, and now retirement's going to kill us. It's pretty depressing, but I like to think that we have some chutzpah left, some spirit left to get through it. I am shocked that 1 in 4. The numbers that don't have any retirement account at all is incredibly frightening. But look,
1 in 4 do or don't. Say that again.
Do not.
Sorry, let me get it right. 1 in 4 don't have a retirement account. So 25% of us don't even have any kind of retirement account, which is scary. So
that's crazy.
Look, we had parents that had retirement. We had also parents that got divorced and lost all their money, parents that bought RVs, and the great me generation. So I'm taking care of one parent, so that's a drain on me. So I'm burning the candle at both ends. I know it's tough. I just can't stomach us being the poster children for UBI. We have made such a fuss over being the independent, get out of my house, get the fuck out of the house generation. It's very hard for me to stomach that we would be a UBI. And I don't think that Social Security is going to be what it is today when we're retiring.
No.
Well,
take a 20% cut.
The biggest issue, another Reagan issue, is when he signed in pretty much the anti-pension law, which moved everybody over to 401ks. And that allowed companies to go ahead and just raid the fucking pension funds, right? So they were setting up decades ago, over 40 years ago, for this shit to happen today. They didn't give a fuck. Ronald Reagan's fucking dead, okay? He didn't give 2 fucks what was going to happen after he died. This is what's happening. Pensions are gone. 401ks are, not everybody's into them. Obviously, 25% of Gen Xers. I'd love to see that number on millennials. I'd love to see that for all the different demographics, because I guarantee you they don't have money.
What shocked me from as you read in and the book and whatnot, like student debt has killed us. I took debt; it was manageable, but apparently a lot of us took loans that are just crushing. Got MBAs, got doctorates, etc. I didn't expect that from the book. That would be that is a thing now. I mean, kids are paying ridiculous amounts of money to go to school. I don't think we had that. So the fact that it's killing us, what is it going to do to millennials and Gen Zs? Because they're taking out a lot more money than we did. That's scary.
Agreed.
That's scary.
God damn it.
The feel-good show of the year, everybody. Time for a dad joke, don't you think?
Always time for a dad joke.
All right, guys. What do you call it when Batman skips church? What do you call it when Batman skips church?
I don't know.
Christian Bale. Bale.
That's good. That's good.
I need a drink. We out.
We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar, blue, nacho, pepper jack, Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese.
So weird. We out!